Well, I have not kept up with my failed state Latvia blog recently, so maybe it's time to do a video update rather than write, which takes maybe more time. And maybe this is more interesting for some people who look at this. There's been a lot of talk here about exports increasing in Latvia and that this is a sign of general economic recovery. Well, it's not clear to me what proportion of GDP exports make up, because that's very important, because that determines the impact that sharply rising exports have on the economy as a whole, and I don't think that can be seen. We are seeing maybe a tiny bit of job creation, but now that the German market is open for Latvian labor, I think what we'll see is that skilled labor will continue to leave this country, and it'll be drained off all the more to Germany as that opportunity opens up for Latvian workers and people to simply move out of here. The reason for that is I think that this country faces more and more cuts in government spending and services and in the quality of governance here, which has never been good. The increases in taxes here are seen as bringing little or no benefit to anyone. Tax evasion actually is becoming a rational step for some small businesses, because, as the press has been reporting here, there's some pretty nightmarish problems in electronically filing tax returns and other reports that are required by the Latvian State Revenue Service because of computer and internet problems, and that is just another reason that I think people will simply either get out of here or will do whatever is necessary to avoid having to deal with the state tax collecting services. Not that that is necessarily a good thing. I probably don't think it is. But the reason behind all of that is there's a political mistrust here that has probably gone past the point of no return. Whatever trust the new government got during the elections, it's losing very rapidly. Because most of the actions taken by the government or approved by the government, such as the rise in electricity rates, the higher gas prices, which of course are not set by the Latvian government but by Gazprom in Russia, all of these are leading further and further toward the pauperization of society and the further collapse of public services here. Of course, a major factor behind the pauperization or impoverishment of society here is the lack of productivity of Latvian labor generally, and behind that is the reason I think is that Latvian businesses and enterprises, for the most part, don't have increasing productivity with modern methods as a priority. Most enterprises see their own performance looking backwards through a thick fog, while their competitors in Scandinavia are looking forward at any number of possible scenarios using advanced information technology and very detailed and up-to-date data on what their company has been doing on a day-to-day basis and a product-by-product basis, and so forth and so on. The use of modern IT and productivity increasing technologies here in Latvia is limited to a very small part of the economy. The rest of it is simply chugging along at a slower and slower pace, I would almost say, at least relative to its competitors in Scandinavia and the rest of Europe. The societal environment, the sort of street-level way things look, also is continuing to deteriorate. We see hopeless and hapless and worn-out old people and sort of scruffy-looking young people with the kind of bright, intelligent-looking folks sort of fading out of the scene almost on a week-to-week basis. There's a lot of sociopathic behavior. The most recent case of which was that the place where I work, the news agency Letta, had its homepage hacked by someone who was probably highly trained, and in order to be highly trained, also highly intelligent, but for irrational reasons of his or her own, engaging in what amounts to cyber terrorism against the media. And I think we will see irrational behavior by people with potentially dangerous skills increasing in this country as society becomes more and more atomized, or anomic, as the sociologists would say. Putting the whole thing together and linking it to the earlier video that I made as a kind of CV promoting myself for some kind of possible work outside of Latvia, I can only say that this is not really a country for people with skills, intelligence, and especially it is not a country for people, as I like to put it, people of advanced youth who may face retirement and healthcare issues at some point down the road. And at that point down the road, I doubt very much that there's going to be anything there for them. So that's the way things look here in Latvia. Not very good, and not likely to get better for the next several to many years.